Gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. The more you express gratitude for what you have, the more likely you will have even more to express gratitude for. Zig Ziglar said that. And I find that having a gratitude practice can be a really wonderful thing because it's true. The more you express gratitude, the more you discover there are so many things around us, so many moments that we have to be grateful for. Starting a gratitude practice sometimes can be a little bit challenging. So having a framework that you can use to express your gratitude can be helpful. And that is one of the reasons why I wanted to share this book with you. This is my book, co-written with my dear friend and colleague, Carrie McClure. It is called Gratitude, A Mindful Pause. And what we did when we created this beautiful book is we created an open structure for you to be able to express your gratitude however you'd like. So one side is lined pages if you want to journal. The other side is unlined pages. Now you can certainly journal on those as well, but sometimes I like to express gratitude or go through my gratitude practice by pasting things in or drawing or coloring something. And so by having these two different kinds of pages in here, you're able to do that. I also love that we have gone through and created a bunch of gratitude prompts that appear throughout the book so that they can be used by you as either a prompt for your own gratitude or just a little spark to remind you of how much we have to be grateful for. Today, I wanted to share with you my essay from this book. Carrie and I each contributed an essay, and mine is called A Few Thoughts on Gratitude. I hope you like it. Any time is a perfect time to think about gratitude. It surrounds us. Unfortunately, we often find ourselves so busy in the course of living our lives that we forget to stop and take a moment to reflect on what we are grateful for. Or if we do take a moment, it's a fleeting one, a whisper that touches our heart and then it's gone as we move back into the everyday moments that surround us. Much of our gratitude, once acknowledged, may not stick with us. We remember, of course, those exceptional moments or those people who, for one reason or another, touch us deeply. But in moving through our lives, these thoughts somehow find themselves as a sort of confetti in the background of a full life. Writing down these precious snippets then becomes the best way to remember them, to keep them in a way that prevents them from fading quite so easily into the background. When Carrie and I talked about creating this journal, one of the things that delighted us was the ability to pull together some of our favorite quotes. We also put together pages that provided maximum flexibility. We both keep and give gratitude journals to others on a regular basis. The opportunity to create one is a joy. I delight in having a place to write these heartfelt moments down because otherwise I find there are quite a number of things that escape me. In spite of my best efforts, if it's not written down, it gets forgotten about. By having a journal, I am grateful for those moments again. I can revisit them anytime I want. I often go back, especially when I'm struggling with things that seem overwhelming or there are challenges facing me. To go back into those moments reminds me that there are a lot of good things surrounding me. However, many journals, specifically designed to be gratitude journals, seem to not have exactly what I'm looking for. They either have lines that say, I'm grateful for, and you're expected to fill in the blanks and only write enough for that one line. Maybe it's a journal that only has room for 3 gratitude comments per day, but you have 5 things to share. Or it's simply a plain journal that is focused on gratitude because that's the purpose you've assigned to it. What we really wanted was to create something that had more flexibility and yet also provided inspiring quotes scattered throughout to help you focus on your moments of gratitude. I specifically wanted pages that allowed me to doodle or write free-flowing as I chose. If you've read our previous book, Beyond Meditation, Making Mindfulness Accessible for Everyone, you'll know that's my favorite form of meditation. You may be surprised to know that it's also a way that I use to practice gratitude. I write down a word or two that I'm grateful for in the middle of a page, and then I doodle around it, focusing on what I've written and allowing thoughts of gratitude for that moment, person, thing to be uppermost in my mind and heart. By having both blank and lined pages, we're giving you the opportunity to use this journal any way you want. Write, doodle, draw, add stickers, paste articles, anything. It's important to note that being grateful doesn't always come easy. When things are going well, we are on top of the world and we've got it right where we want it. Oh, sorry. It's important to note that being grateful doesn't always come easy. When things are going well, we are on top of the world and we think we've got it all right where we want it. We may not acknowledge the gratitude around us. And when life is not so easy, we may find ourselves feeling down in the dumps and overwhelmed. Often we get so overwhelmed that we allow the negative things to so strongly influence how we perceive what is happening around us. And in the middle of the explosions of stress, worry, and overwhelming circumstance, the little sparks of gratitude can sometimes get lost. Just as we learn to read and write and do any of the other things we've learned to do in life, so too we need to learn to cultivate the habit of gratitude. Having a journal such as this one, where you can keep these moments together, helps you create that habit. We're not here to tell you that if you journal gratitude every day, you'll eventually come to live in that blissed out place that many imagine is a result of continual gratitude. I know I don't. I sometimes struggle to get there, to get anywhere close to being grateful for certain situations and circumstances. And yet I know I have so very much to be grateful for. Yes, we can get overwhelmed. Sometimes we get lost. Both Carrie and I have come to believe that by remembering that concept of gratitude and by paying attention to it, we are happier overall. By cultivating that habit of remembering gratitude, we learn to shift back into that mode, even in the midst of challenging moments. However you choose to use this journal, we hope you find inspiration in these pages, both from our humble offerings as well as from the moments you will share on its page. And so I want to encourage you, wherever you are in whatever you do for a gratitude practice, to simply keep going with it. And if you haven't started a gratitude practice, I want to encourage you to start one. Just pick up a journal like this and begin to write down just a few things, either at bedtime. A lot of people like bedtime, or in the morning. Some people prefer first thing when they get up. However you do it is right. There is no right or wrong way to journal gratitude. You just do it. And then I also want to encourage you to remember that part of the reason we write it down is so that we can go back and see those moments and remember how wonderful that was, so that we are reminded yet again of how very much we have to be grateful for. And I am grateful for you watching this video. Thank you so much. Bye, folks.